What's going on, everybody? It's the Crypto Wonder from the Crypto Wonder podcast. Let's get right into it. Hope everyone is doing well. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. We all know that what I do, as far as on the Crypto Wonder podcast, for the most part, I talk about cryptocurrency. And when I'm not talking about cryptocurrency, I'm talking about other topics and issues that are important to me. But this episode is going to be about crypto. And we're going to continue to advance some lessons that I've recently learned in the crypto space. That's what we're going to do. I want to highlight some teaching moments. Well, I'd like to highlight teaching moments in general. And this is going to be no different. Absolutely no different. Now, I'm not in the process, I'm not in the habit, I would say, of beating a dead horse. That's not my forte. This is going to sound like I'm going to beat a dead horse. It is what it is. So be it. But the truth of the matter is, when it is revealed of some type of wrongdoing that a person does in crypto, right? When it's revealed, it's out there. Once it's out there, there's no way of taking it back. Once it's out there, legitimately, there's no way you could take that back. Especially if you continue to pretend like all was wrong, especially if you continue to hide. Keyword now, hide, disappear, vanish in thin air. Well, vanish from cyberspace. Well, okay, you're allowing everything that was presented to become that much more credible, even though it's already credible, regardless of what you do. Okay? It was presented by the other side that a long con is being done. A long con. A long confidence game, for those who don't know, whereby if you allow a long period of time to go by, it is the hope for these, people who are affected or allegedly done wrong. It is the hope that they would forget because they let a long time pass by. This is what was espoused by someone who attacked me and my reputation. This was what was espoused by the same person, while that same person was simultaneously doing the same thing that he was describing someone else to be doing. And that's exhibiting and doing and committing a long con. When I say that people have to think clearly and critically, if you don't think critically sometimes and apply some logic when it comes to dealing with your energy and money specifically, your monies, you're destined to fail. You're destined to fail. Because even the same person that tries to describe other people for being wrong, other people to be alleged scammers, that person can talk to you about Bitcoin and have you believe everything they're saying is A1, 100% legitimate. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, once they start talking to you, or while they're talking to you, they're committing wrongdoings and crimes and scams and doing whatever it is that they're doing in their nefarious ways, nefarious, shady, underlying, underhanded dealings while they're talking to you about Bitcoin. This is why people need to do their own research. Always do your own research, so that way you can rely on information that you have gathered, studied, and examined to formulate your own conclusions and then make your own decisions that are right for you. Not because anyone has said anything, but because you trust yourself well enough. You have done the research, you have applied yourself, you have done the work, and you understand the risks, and you take the necessary steps to do what it is that you need to do that's good for you. No one can tell you what's good for you except you. A person who's anti-crypto can tell you what Bitcoin is. A child can speak to you about Bitcoin. A senior person, anyone from any walk of life can talk to you about crypto. Don't take my word or anyone's word for it. Take your word based on the research you've made. And maybe you could contribute to the whole in a positive way. But when you have a person who's pointing fingers at everyone else who's doing wrong, come to find out that it's been revealed that they are also vilified. Why? Because their hands are dirty as well. Same person pointing fingers at everyone else who talks about deflection, who's actually the living example of deflection, pointing fingers elsewhere, making sure that you are steered into a different direction constantly, while their hands and their reputation are stained. Their hands are dirty, and thinking that you will never find out. Pay attention, people, and this is where logic comes in. Imagine if you believed in such a person, right? And you really hold them in such a high regard. The person who ended up turning out to be a scammer, you held that person in a high regard. And come to find out that while they're pointing fingers and pretending that there's something that they're not, they're trying to steer you in a different direction so that you can follow their lead into other things, which will basically lead you to be destroyed, to lose everything that you've worked so hard to gain or to earn. What do I mean by that? Why should you believe anything this person talks about as far as shilling projects, as far as promoting a project? If you found out this person is a thief, ran away with your purse, ran away with your wallet, would you trust anything that person does moving forward? Ask me if it should be any different with crypto. No, you ask yourself that. If the same person that was identified to be a thief, why should you accept any advice moving forward or any information moving forward from said person at any given point? Sorry. It doesn't work that way. You can't have certain things both ways. You can't be caught dead to rights in one situation and now on the flip side be this trustworthy individual. How does that work? How does that work? What I'm saying is, I've already addressed the dominance community. But it seems like this so-called fake designer, oh, he's affiliated with other things too. He's affiliated with other things, other projects. Now, for those who value their time, their energy, their crypto, and most importantly, their money, you should really consider having your attention. If you listened to the Nomad and followed anything the Nomad did by going into other projects, you should really consider scrutinizing everything that he's shilling for your own well-being, long term. Remember the long, here goes the long word again. I want to talk about the long con. Yeah. Reconsider again. It's almost like before you make a decision, you think about it again, rethink about it, and guess what? You think about it again, because anything that individual is affiliated or tied to raises any natural person's suspicion. That is common sense. That's simple logic. If a thief is a thief, then they will continue to steal. It's logic. It's logical. So whatever green project he's involved with deserves extra attention. And like I said, everyone who's affiliated with him too, who rolls with him as he calls it, right? Who rolls with him, all of y'all, by virtue of what your friend, your guy, your crypto noble hero, the Nomad, said. As a result, we all know what that all means. That you're also guilty by association. So basically, if you don't care, perform. Keep doing what you do. But if you do have some type of inkling to do the right thing, like you're really trying to create opportunities for people to build true wealth from legitimate A1 projects, because there's a lot of garbage out here, right? And you don't need the type of scrutiny that can really come down on y'all. You want to think twice about having that link in your camp, that weak link, because you thought he was strong. Or I don't know what you thought. I can't think for you all. But he appeared to be one thing, and simultaneously was also something else. People can hide continue, vanish in cyberspace, you know, reinvent themselves, create other identities. This is what he does it well. He's a designer. This is what he does. Doesn't stick to, deletes accounts and everything. Like, what are you doing all these things for? Why are you changing, your accounts so often and your names so often? Like, you're just doing weird things. What's all that for if everything you're doing is on the up and up? Oh, but you have to think, people, when the light bulb turns on, like ding, when the penny finally drops, you can't take back what's already been revealed to you. You can't unlearn, you can't undo what you've already seen. You can't pretend like you don't understand what you understood. You understand? You comprehend? Exactly. So if you want to protect yourself from continually losing your hard-earned money, your hard-earned crypto, exercise, exercise some common sense. Use some common sense. Analyze what's going on here. Dig deeper than what's being presented to you. Like, for real, like really. Look at who's talking about what, and then make your own assessment. Make your own decisions. And do what it is that fits your needs and your desires, whatever they may be. So that way, if anything, however it goes, if it goes well or if it doesn't go well, you're at ease because you made the decision. Crypto's that space where right now is still more deregulated than not. Right? They call it the Wild Wild West. Right? Right? People are quick to dox you. Right? We know this. Right? People vanish. Right? They disappear or they come back to keep their schemes going, and with different names, different platforms, same people though. Right. But I'm part of a collective of scammers. Be for real. Think, people. Really think. Everyone who's tied to this guy, question yourselves. Unless you're part of the game, unless you are part of what this person got going on, question yourselves. You think crypto needs somebody like that? You think crypto needs anybody who does what he's done? Dead to rights. Really? Come on now. Let's be serious. Let's be serious. This is information for people to avoid experiencing further loss. This is information, useful information that people could apply to their lives, to their basic practices. If you're new, you're coming in, even if you're an OG in this space, remember, these are tools that we could use forever as long as crypto exists. Listen. Everybody out here is definitely not worth your time, not worth our energy. But I have to share this to help people, possibly help someone avoid making the same mistakes that I made. And once I done that, hey, listen, it is what it is. And that's why I will, these teaching moments, I'm always going to put them out there. I'm always going to, because I'd rather pay it forward. Because if I don't, then that means I'm being selfish. I mean, could you imagine how many people, were misled by this individual? How many people were duped into thinking one thing about the person when the whole while it's something else? No. I rather put it out there so that way it can help others. It can help others know what they're dealing with. And I always, and this is something I didn't have to do. I mean, who's proud to say that they were scammed by the Nomad? Are you kidding me? Who's really? The bottom of the barrel? Like, well, it happened to me. It happened to me. No, and this thing about it is no one really knows this guy. Outside of 10, 15 people? Who really knows this guy? But it's enough. It's enough because it's the act that took place that needs to be shared. It's the action, the experiences that took place surrounding this clown that needs to be shared. So that way people can know in the future what you're dealing with here, what's important. Some of the things that you need to catch, highlight, and find, and analyze, and study and examine to protect yourselves from experiencing loss unnecessarily. Crypto is about helping us learn how we can become our own custodians, right? The owners of our own financial future and destiny, right? We've been trained to believe in these legacy systems, these third parties, these banks. Crypto teaches us everything against that. Teaches us to become our own banks. In other words, hold the keys to our own destiny. Private keys, right? No private keys, no crypto, right? Hold the keys to our own destiny so we can unlock any type of potential that's awaiting for us. Make sense? Oh. Right. Because that's what's important. That's what's important to me. Might not be important to you, but I'm going to keep pushing forward and paying this forward. And I'll catch you on the next episode. But be vigilant. Be aware of what's going on out here. Be aware of these people that keep talking and pushing it. And they roll together. Birds of a feather flock together. Show me your friends. I'll show you who you are. Right? You point one finger. 3 are always pointed right back at you. Right? Right? Keep these things in mind. Keep these things in mind. When you get disappointed, don't feel bad, right? Don't feel bad. It's because you had to learn that. You had to go through that. Now, what is it that you're going to do now? What is it that you're going to do moving forward to reduce the chances of you experiencing that again? It's all right. It's all right. I'll talk to you later.